Welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube. Fan debates, live watch-alongs, post-match reactions. Subscribe now and see the game through Blue Tinted Glasses.
Good evening and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses for a Fox's Den. It is Wednesday, so it is time for a Fox's Den, and it is international break, so it's pretty grim, although there is some football. Leicester players are involved in some football. As I don't know if anyone saw today, Lorenz Hutchinson scored on his debut for the England under 19s or 18s, one of the two. 18s, I think. Yeah, 18s. And then obviously there's more Leicester players in action this week. Jordan James playing tomorrow in a World Cup qualifier. So you can still, that's if you want to watch Leicester players. I don't think anyone really does want to see any Leicester players, but hey-ho, there we go. Neil, what's going on, mate? How's things with you?
Yeah, you kind of taken my thunder there. It's the most boring time of the year, but otherwise all good.
It's not as bad as I think it was October or November last year where we had like 2 international breaks in 1 month. That was pretty grim. Steve, what's going on, mate? How's things with you?
I'm actually glad it's an international break. It gives me a week away from Leicester to not get depressed. So that's quite a nice feeling, right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people, mate, who are feeling the exact same way. Yeah, just no heartbreak, no depression from watching this terrible team play. But we are still going to talk about football today. Not Leicester specific, but just kind of the Championship in general. And we are going to be predicting the end of the Championship season. So only a few games to go. So we're gonna discuss it. But yes, right. Kunal's here. Good evening to you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Ray, evening, lads. I'm wife. Steve, I need a bit of a break. I'm wife.
I think he's with. I was going to say, it's not my wife as far as I'm aware. She's not here at the moment, so she could be.
Have you ever seen Ray and Steve's wife in the same room? I definitely haven't. So there we go. So we are currently looking. I mean, you can see on screen here the current Championship table, what it is like at the moment. Obviously, Coventry, Middlesbrough at the top. Ipswich only a couple of points behind Middlesbrough, but they do have a game in hand there. And then obviously the end of the table that we've been looking at this season is on the screen now. Obviously Leicester down there in 22nd place. I do want to make sure this is the right table, by the way. I should probably check that first, just to make sure that is the right table. I think it is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it
so
is.
Leicester City in 20. For some reason, I had in my head we were 23rd, but there we go. So yeah, obviously just Oxford and Sheffield Wednesday below us, and Portsmouth, West Brom, and Blackburn above us. So we're going to be predicting the results between now and the end of the season, like I said, and it will calculate what the league table is based on what we've said. So without further ado, lads, again, this is, there's not too many games left, but we will start going through. Does anybody want to start us off? So on the next game, the 3rd of April, which is Good Friday, right? I believe. We have Middlesbrough, Millwall. So as I said, the league table currently here, Middlesbrough and Millwall both having great seasons. And Neil, want to put your neck on the line, mate, for the first prediction of the night? What are you going with, mate?
Draw.
A draw? Steve,
I'd actually slightly favour Millwall, but I think given that a point's probably good for both teams, that's what it'll end up being.
Yes, Steve. What about you, mate? Because I was gonna go 2-1 Borough, but I'm open for a draw. What are you saying, mate? We'll just
I think
go
it'll
with
be 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw.
Okay, we'll go with that. Birmingham, Blackburn. Obviously, a few of these that we will just rush through, but Birmingham, Blackburn. I'm feeling. Birmingham haven't been amazing this season, but I'm going to go for a Birmingham win in this case. I'd probably go for a 2-1 Birmingham win. Any arguments?
You're looking at their form because Birmingham have not been in good form. They've lost 3 of the last 5, won 1, drawn 1. Blackburn have won 1, drawn 2, and lost 2. So, I mean, you could go for a Birmingham win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Blackburn nick a win there 1-0, to be honest.
Is that win draw their last 2 games? By the way, I'm looking at 4.
Blackburn, yes. Yeah, for
Yeah,
Blackburn.
okay. Because they had a little good start under O'Neill, didn't they? And then they fell off. So they've got a couple good results there. Yeah, I mean, what I'll do here on this one is, I don't know. I get what Steve said. I'm going to edge it though. I'm just going to edge Birmingham there.
Used to
Birmingham
edging.
there.
That's the problem.
Hey, yeah, Charlton, Bristol City. I mean, these fixtures don't really matter too much because obviously they're not really involved with what we want to talk about. But Anil, any
I think
shouts,
Charlton
Andy?
will win. Bristol not in good form at the moment on the beach.
Remember, Anil, you got to say Bristol City. You can't say Bristol. They will come
Yeah.
after you. The Bristolians will hunt you down. No, yeah, I mean, I've put in a 1-0 there, but I'm just looking at the form here. Bristol City are, there they are, 16th. Yeah, like you said, they are on the beach. 4 losses, 1 draw. Whereas Charlton are, there we go. Yeah, I mean, they've got 7 points in their last 5. So we'll go with that. We'll stick with that. Now, Leicester. Go on, let's talk about it, boys. Our next game, Leicester Preston at home at the King Power. There will, I'm guessing, be another protest, so that must mean we're going to lose. Go on, Steve. I'll let you take this one first, mate. What are you thinking?
2-1 Preston.
Anil, I'm not going to go that negative. I do think I am feeling another draw. But I would have said a 1-1. But what are you saying, mate?
I'm going to go 2-1. I don't know if I really believe it, but I just feel if we don't win this one, we're already 4 points away from West Brom. And Portsmouth, we're only close to them, and they've got the game in hand, which is against us. So, like, if we do draw here, we could be at a point where now we do have to rely on others messing up to have any chance whatsoever. So, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win, but it's there isn't really anything to base it off.
We've got the entire spectrum here then.
Yeah.
Well, not to,
get chat to do the tiebreak. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Everybody in the chat, put your comments in now. Leicester, Preston. What are you going with? I've gone for a 1-1, and Neil's gone for a 2-1 Leicester win, and Steve's gone for a 2-1 Preston win. So let us know what you think in the chat. We'll come back to it in a second. Norwich versus Portsmouth. I'm going to give it a Norwich win.
Yeah, they're in great form.
3-0.
I think. Yeah, I was going to go 2, but yeah, we'll go for the 3. I think Portsmouth are one of the teams that have a really tough fixture list between now and the end of the season. Bleeds Blue said a 3-3 draw for Leicester. Moxie saying 2-1 win, and Jack saying a 2-0 win. So
don't listen to Jack. He never gets them right. So never listen to Jack.
The win is definitely the favourite, it seems. Yeah, a 0. Maybe a draw. I don't know. We'll see. We'll leave it with that for now. There we go. Ray had the deciding vote, 2-1 win. So we'll go with a win, a narrow win. Oxford Hull. Any ideas?
That's a tough one because Hull are in the playoffs right now, but Oxford have been in good form. Draw.
Yeah. Let's go for a draw on that one. I'll just go for a 1-1 or something like that. Watford against QPR. That's a London derby, isn't it? Watford QPR.
It is.
Watford are in a decent run of form. 2 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. Where QPR have only won 2 of the last 5, but they were the last 2 games. So, Steve, I know you do these predictions quite often with Jack, but what are you saying, mate? QPR.
Well, QPR has scored 9 goals in the last 2 games.
Okay.
Watford, they were terrible against us. Honestly, one of the worst sides I've seen this season. So I think it'll be a 3-1 QPR win. Happy
with that, Anil? We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Sheffield United, Swansea. Obviously, Sheffield United not getting promoted this season. They are down in 17th. Swansea not getting promoted either in 14th. But just looking at the form here, so yeah, 2 wins in the last 5 from Swansea, 1 win in the last 5 from Sheffield United. I think maybe both teams are on the beach, probably, lads.
Yeah.
Sheffield United and Swansea. Yeah. 1-1. Yeah, I'd agree with that. 1-1. Stoke, Sheffield. I mean, let's just say a Sheffield win.
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday lost.
Well, there is one game they might win, which we'll come up to in a moment, but it's not this one. Yeah.
We will. Okay,
Yeah.
West Brom Wrexham's an interesting one. Obviously, Wrexham on the brink of the playoffs. Literally on goal difference, they're just outside of it. They have won 3 of the last 5. and obviously West Brom are relegation rivals, if you like, who have won the last two. Is their winning run going to come to an end? What are we saying, boys?
Yes,
We
but
need
they'll
to-
draw.
A draw.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it was at Wrexham's, I'd have gone for a
Definitely.
Wrexham win because it's at West Brom.
Okay. Yeah, let's go for a 1-1 draw. Coventry Derby, that'll be a little tasty one. Obviously Derby are not too far away from the playoffs either, but I think Coventry are kind of back in their groove a little bit now, aren't they? I know they lost one of the games recently, but they've won 4 of 5. So I think we can all agree probably they'll win this one.
Yeah.
So we'll just go for a 2-0 win. And then Southampton Ipswich, who some people thought would be a title decider earlier in the season. Southampton obviously have clawed their way back into the playoffs, but yeah, what we're saying, because Ipswich is streaky, I think, aren't they? They are a little bit streaky, Ipswich.
I think a Southampton win, to be honest.
Same.
Wow, Southampton win? Okay.
Yeah, no, they're the best team in the division right now.
Yeah, Farage is going to be annoyed that Ipswich lost, but it's fine.
Southampton need to get Rupert Lowen. Right, moving on to game week 41. So again, another relegation. Now this is a big day for the relegation battle this game week here, because we have Portsmouth Oxford, we have Sheffield Wednesday Leicester, and we have Blackburn West Brom. So let's save. Yeah, exactly. So let's save the relegation ones till last. Millwall Norwich City. Anyone want to put the neck on the line for that one? Obviously, Norwich down there in 10th, Millwall in 4th, but Norwich in a great run of form. And Norwich have a chance to get in the playoff. Very small chance. They do have a chance to get up there if they keep winning games.
I'd still back Millwall though at home. I think they'll.
Steve, would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think a Millwall win.
Yeah, we'll go for a Millwall win. Bristol City, Sheffield United for this one. Again, 2 teams on the beach, but I'll probably edge it to Bristol City. To be honest, to Sheffield United in that one. 1-0 Leicester win against Wednesday, said Bleed Blue. We'll get to it shortly. Derby Stoke. Anyone got one? Someone throw a
draw.
Yeah, a 2-2 draw maybe.
Yeah, let's go for a 2-2 draw. Ipswich Birmingham. I personally think Ipswich will win that one. Don't know if anyone.
Yeah, Farage will get his revenge.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it will be Cov Middlesbrough, who would just finish at the top, the top 2 at the end of the season. But we'll see at the end when we finish our predictions. Preston North End QPR. Let me look at the table here, because I think where are
next to each other, 12th and 13th.
12th place Derby, that is.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen this season, I'd probably give it. It's close. I'd probably give it QPR, but anyone?
Well, yeah, I would agree because Preston have got a lot of injuries, and QPR look like they're very sort of full of confidence, and again the 9 goals from the last 3 I'd give it to QPR as well.
Okay. Watford Charlton. That stinks of a 1-1 draw to me, to be honest.
Yep.
Swansea Borough, I think Borough will win that one.
Yeah.
I'm just rushing through a couple here. Cov, Hull. Hull are obviously high in the
draw.
table.
Yeah,
Cov, Hull, really?
Yeah. Coventry won't win all their games.
Hull are a lucky team. Their
There you
XG,
go.
their expected points is like 20th in the league.
Yeah, well, fair play to them. But I would say I think them at home I'll go for a draw. I don't think Coventry win all their games, but they'll easily have enough to get up.
Yeah.
And Steve, Wrexham, Southampton, mate.
Oh, so I think this will decide who finishes in the playoffs for that team. So I'm gonna say it will be a 3-2 Southampton win.
Okay. Right, let's get to the relegation battle. So, Portsmouth versus Oxford. I would probably give that one to Portsmouth, to be honest.
Same.
Yeah, they are obviously the better team. Oxford, I think, are more than likely going to be down. It's just obviously who the third place will go to. But yeah, I'll give that a 2-0.
You think Oxford are definitely down? I'm not sure.
Yeah. I do personally, but could be wrong. Blackburn West Brom. This is going to be an interesting tie. Steve, thoughts?
I think West Brom will nick it Blackburn on, because if you look at the 6,500 West Brom fans that are travelling up to Blackburn for the game, it's going to be like a home game for them. So I think you'll see a 2-1 West Brom win.
Anil?
No idea. Fair flip of a coin for this one.
Yeah. I'm just looking again at West Brom obviously have got, decent results recently. Blackburn are just hit and miss. I don't know. You said a win for West Brom, Steve. You think West Brom will edge it?
Also, if you look at the injuries for Blackburn, there's like 5 or 6 injuries that are to players that would start as well.
Let's give it West Brom. Give it West Brom.
Okay. That would be huge result if they get that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously Sheffield Wednesday, Leicester. Now I know we're all doom and gloom. I know we've said, well, Leicester probably won't win this game. However, come on, boys, what do we really think? Be honest. Do we really think we're gonna drop points?
Yes. Don't you remember we dropped points to them even in the Enzo season?
Are you going 1-1 as well, Anil? Are you thinking?
Yeah. I'm not sure we'd lose it. That feels even. I don't know. Nothing would surprise me right now, but I can definitely see us dropping points there. It's just so Leicester. The funny thing is, I could see us getting some surprise points from some other game, but I feel it would just be just like us in the game you'd always have as a banker that we just shoot ourselves in the foot.
Especially because there's 3,000 odd Leicester fans attending the game. It's just perfect sort of time for a Jordan Ayew last minute goal to get a draw.
Yeah. Right, on to game week 42. So again, we'll fill in a couple of these quite quick. I think West Brom will lose to Millwall, to be honest. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Millwall win there. Coventry, Sheffield Wednesday, I think we all agree a Coventry win. Quite comfortable, probably. Maybe even probably 3-0.
More than that,
yeah. Norwich, Ipswich. Thoughts?
Or the derby.
Yeah.
I'd go Norwich win.
Anyway.
Oh, really? Ooh,
well,
okay.
Ipswich, they only beat Norwich for the first time. The last time the two teams played for the first time in 20 years. Their record is terrible. But back then they were farcical. Now they're in good form. So I think that curse will come back again.
We have a honking record at Hillsborough, says Jack. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go for a 2-1 Norwich win on that one. Again, Farage will be fuming. QPR, Bristol City. I think obviously by that point, both teams are already on the beach, but I'd probably give it QPR. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, we beat if Leicester beat you, you're not very good. That's just how it is. So we know that Bristol City aren't great, but okay. Let's go for maybe a 2-1 QPR win there. Charlton, Preston North End.
A boring 0-0.
Yeah, we haven't really had a 0-0 yet. So yeah, let's go with that. Leicester, Swansea. Now, I think we'll beat Swansea because I think Swansea are 1 on the beach, 2 crap, and 3, I think we always beat them. Although we didn't beat them this... No, we did beat them this season, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, 3-0, I think. Yeah, or 3-1. Yeah,
1. Yeah.
We always beat Swansea, the Sheep Shaggers, or the Swan Shaggers, whichever one. So let's go for we're not going to keep a clean sheet. 2-1 Leicester. We've kept enough of them this season. That's it. Middlesbrough, Portsmouth. So again, another relegation rival there in Portsmouth. Are we saying a Middlesbrough win, boys?
Should do.
3-0, I would say.
3-0 Middlesbrough win. Oxford, Watford. I think
Oxford win.
Fairly an Oxford win.
Yeah, because you say Watford are on a beach and it's now the teams down the bottom, they start grinding out results. That's why I'm not entirely... We'll see where they end up at the end of the season, Oxford United. But I think in those sort of games, they've got a better chance than a lot of other teams. I think they will win that one, yeah.
Steve?
Yeah, I think it'll be a scrappy 1-0 win.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that. Sheffield United Hull, I'll probably...
Draw.
Yeah, I was going to give it a draw or just edge it Hull. I'm going to edge it Hull's way, I think.
Okay.
Just about. Yeah, just about. Steve, Southampton Derby.
3-1, and it'll end Derby's playoff hopes.
Good, that'd be lovely. Anil, Stoke Blackburn.
Draw.
Steve?
I think draw as well.
Yeah.
A lot of these games depend on what's happened before, though, right? Like if they're really
Of
in a
course.
quagmire, you never know. It could be something that brings them back, but neither team are particularly good. But doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't...
I was going to say that's true. Like we're basing all of these predictions off what we know now about these teams. Whereas obviously in 4 games time, it might look completely different. And then Birmingham, Wrexham, the battle of the fucking knobheads, Hollywood lot or Americans. Not knobheads. They're not knobheads. They're just annoying. Birmingham, Wrexham. I don't know about you boys. I'd probably give this a Wrexham. I don't know, 1-1 draw.
Well, I would say Wrexham win and then Birmingham sack Chris Davis.
Do you really think they'd sack him?
Wow.
I think he's gone by the end of the season. I don't think he goes into the next season.
Okay.
That's probably true, but they won't even do it before the end of the season.
You never know. Americans, they want some, oh, look, Trump's the Epstein files. Quick, sack a manager. That'll distract him.
Right. Should we have, just for the only time, should we have a little calculate and see what the table is looking like?
Where do we end up right now? Okay, go on.
With 4 games to go. So with 4 games to go,
based on our predictions.
Based on our predictions, we have Coventry and Borough obviously in the top 2.
Yeah.
We have Millwall up to 3rd, Ipswich in 4th, Southampton in 5th, and Hull in 6th. Derby, QPR. We've been kind to QPR, haven't we? Then below, but it looks like just Wrexham and Hull basically fighting up for the playoffs.
We've been way too generous on QPR based on that. They've been there going no higher, but let's see.
Yeah, so let's slowly make our way down. So Swansea in 16th, Charlton in 17th, Bristol City in 18th. So the few teams there that are on the beach. And then we've got West Brom in 19th, Leicester in 20th.
No way, really? Wow.
Yeah. So that's what we've got so far.
Yeah.
That's what we've got so far. And Nil's weird love for Oxford has got them climbing above Portsmouth. No, I'm joking. But yeah, so that's what we've got at the moment. That would be some turnaround, to be honest, like in the standings if this was to happen. I have just noticed as well, actually, that we do need to just go back and change. I don't know how I find this easily, the Portsmouth's game in hand. Yeah, let me try and find out where it was. Could it have been this far back? Let's have a look. There it is. Portsmouth Ipswich. So this game will be played on the 14th of April. Are we saying an Ipswich win?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for a 1-1. 1-0 Ipswich win. So that's actually what the table looks like. Even with... Wait, that's not right, is it? Yeah, because they didn't win. Yeah. So there we go. So Ipswich up to 4th. There we go. All right, let's move on then to game week 43. 4 games left to do, and then we'll see what we've predicted. So, Cov Blackburn. Now, I suppose it's important to remember that from going on, I mean, Coventry have all but won the league at this point.
But that's why they'll win it because they'll win the league, surely. Yeah. Or they'll get promotion based on that, I think. If they win that, they're up. So I think they'll do enough.
Yeah.
You'll see smug Frank Lampard on Sky.
It'll be like Leicester against Preston, that away game, championship.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Derby, Oxford. And I know Anil wants to go for another Oxford win.
No. I think they could do it at home, but I think away, I would give Derby win there.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for a 1-0 Derby win. Millwall, QPR. That'll
3-0.
be a decent game. Wow, really? Yeah, I suppose at this point, QPR are pretty much on the beach. I mean, they're 5.
Yeah.
Let's go for a nice, comfortable Millwall win. Leicester, Portsmouth, boys. Let us know in the comment section on this one. Leicester versus Portsmouth away at Fratton Park. What are we saying?
I want to say away win.
So Ray in the chat says this is the game that decides relegation, he thinks.
Yeah, I agree. You know the funny thing is, Lux, though, based on our calculations, going into this game, we're above Portsmouth. So for that reason, I think we'll probably fuck it up.
Yes.
But if somehow, if it was like we come into this game and Portsmouth are above us, I think we'll win. Do you see what I mean? That's honestly what I think this team will do at the moment. So based off the calculations we've got there, I would fancy Portsmouth to win 2-1.
This is going to be like 2 window lickers fighting over the same window, right? And it'll probably be a scrappy 1-0 Portsmouth win.
I disagree. I mean, I think it would be a draw, personally. I don't see us losing. Maybe I see us losing 1. of the upcoming away games. But I think we're going to get more points just about away from home.
Locks,
still,
can I
as we
introduce
have.
you to a team called Leicester City Football Club in the 2025-2026 season? They're not very good.
But when was the last time we lost an away game? It's been a while, right? It's been a while.
Second,
We haven't lost an away game since Rowett's been in, have we? It was probably under King, right? It was one of them games under Andy King.
We lost to Southampton in the cup, and then Birmingham away from home.
Yeah. So when was that? Like January? No, start of February.
14th of Feb, 10th of Feb. Yeah, so Andy King's game's in charge.
There are. I mean, look, I'm going to overrule you both for one reason, because there are people in the chat saying Leicester win. No one said a Leicester loss. And a couple have said a draw. So I was going to say, let's just go for a draw. Let's go for a draw.
That's fair, but you are picking the people in the chat, i.e. Dan, who is one of the most positive people I've met about Leicester City, you know.
Well, it's the only... I'm picking the only people who have put their prediction. Is this Dan? Is this Dan?
Yeah, that's Dan. Yeah.
Nice one, Dan. Yeah, I mean, Dan said Leicester win. Paul said Leicester win. Sure, Leicester win, mate. Daniel said no chance. Obviously,
KPFC, fucking hell.
And Ray said I changed my mind. It'll end in a draw. So I'm gonna just give it a draw. I'm gonna give it a draw.
Right.
I'll give it a 1-1. Bristol City Norwich, lads. What we're saying. I think probably a Norwich win here, right?
Yeah.
Hull City Birmingham.
It depends. If Chris Davis has been sacked, you never know about the new manager bounce, but I'd still go Hull.
Yeah, what about you, Steve?
Yeah, I'll go Hull as well.
Yeah, all right. Let's give it a 2-1 win. Preston North End West Brom. I think I want to give this a draw personally.
Preston have got this thing where they just end the season awful because they're just in that position where they can't get to the playoffs, they can't get relegated, and they just completely switch off.
Mm.
And look where they are; they're going for 12th place again.
Yeah. No, they are now. Yeah. Steve.
Yeah, draw. I think draw's fair.
All right, let's go for a 2-2. Let's go for a Desmond. Sheffield Wednesday Charlton. I don't know if we've given Sheffield. No, the only point we gave Sheffield Wednesday was against us so far.
I'm giving Sheffield Wednesday a win.
Oh,
First win in like 40 games, I think.
Dan, I don't think we will beat Portsmouth, mate. I think we'll get a draw. Genuinely, I mean that. Happy clapper. No, I'm joking. Yeah, Swansea, Southampton. I would probably give this to Southampton. I think Swansea are on the beach a little bit. Watford, Sheffield United again. I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams at this point in the season on the beach. Anyone want to go give a prediction? Watford, Sheffield United.
Blades to win, my opinion.
Yeah. Let's say a 2-0 Blades win. Wrexham Stoke. Obviously, Wrexham an outside chance at the playoffs still. Fancy them against Stoke?
Yeah.
I think so. I think so too.
4-0.
4-0. Let's go for let's go for a 4-1. Let's go for a 4-1. Ipswich Borough. So Ipswich, they could. I mean, we won't know until we calculate at the very end. They could still get top 2, but does anyone fancy Ipswich to beat Borough?
I think it'll be a Desmond.
No, I think Ipswich will win. They're scammy like that. They always find a way.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, I would. I'm thinking giving it Ipswich just.
Borough have also bottled it a little bit, haven't they? Since they got top of the table.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they have fallen off a little bit. Again, another relegation rival who Coventry are playing, Portsmouth. They might, if the last game was to decide promotion, this game might be to decide the title. So,
yeah.
Go on, Steve.
I think this will be like Leicester versus, was it Bolton away when we went under Nigel Pearson, where all the players are so pissed that, they're coming into the game sort of hungover. I think Portsmouth will nick it.
But will they be pissed if they're only promoted? Not.
Oh no, I think they'll have won the league.
Yet.
If the last games go correctly, they'd have won the league by this point.
Okay. Yeah, let's go for a I reckon a 2-0. 2-0 Portsmouth now. 1-0. 1-0 Portsmouth.
If they're all pissed, they ain't gonna want to play football, are they? And they will be pissed at this point.
No, I hear you. every title winner has a slip up after they've won the league. So Norwich versus Derby. I'm gonna give this a 1-1 draw. I'm feeling. Oh, what the fuck? -25. What's that? I'm gonna give it a 1-1 draw. Oxford Wrexham. I'd fancy Wrexham here, boys.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Let's give it a 2-0 Wrexham win. QPR versus Swansea.
1-1.
Beach, yeah.
Yeah.
Beach. Southampton Bristol City. I'll give that a Southampton win. Stoke versus Millwall. I mean, Millwall might still be fighting for the top 2 at this point. Just about. So I'm thinking maybe a 2-1 Millwall win potentially here. A 0 West Brom versus Watford. Obviously, we know Watford well. We played them recently. They were terrible.
West Brom win.
Fighting for their lives. West Brom win. Steve, what about you, mate? We've given West Brom a lot of points here, I think, so far.
I can see it being a draw, but it's that thing where we're like sort of 7 or 6 games or so into the future at this point. Almost 5 games. So you're like, but I think it'll be a draw. I think West Brom will be safe at this point, anyway.
Do you think?
Yeah.
No. I think that many games still to go. I think
We gave
only
them
3
quite
games.
a lot of points. Yeah. Look, we gave
that's
them
9
quite a
points
lot
though.
of points.
That's you don't win a game, you go down at that point. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, let's go for a draw. Middlesbrough Sheffield Wednesday. I think this is going to be a 3-1 or something to Middlesbrough, to be honest. Birmingham Preston. We've got to give Birmingham a win finally because they were decided they're having a new manager bounce at this point, aren't they? So we'll give them the new manager bounce. Charlton Ipswich. Ipswich win.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose if Ipswich are looking like the playoffs at this point, McKenna will be looking for a strong end to the season for a bit of momentum into the playoffs. Leicester versus Hull. Now, Hull are lucky. They are a lucky team. As I said, their expected points this season is like 20th place, but they're obviously like really, really high up in the table. Will said in the chat, we don't ever beat Hull. I think we can get a draw, 1-1. Ray says a classic Leicester home loss. I am thinking a loss here. I'm not gonna lie. But what about you, Anil?
I was gonna say draw, but it depends because they are probably still around the playoffs or playoff contention at this point. They're definitely one of the hardest games we've got left, and the way that they set up against us last time with the wingers, they were ideally suited against us, so it doesn't feel good. So
yeah, I'm feeling a loss. I know there's a couple in the chat that think that too. There is one that says a draw. Dan says a draw. Hull late equaliser. Kulan says it's a close one, but there will be protests probably again. So we're gonna lose. But no, we'll. I'm gonna give it.
I think give it Hull. I actually think it will be a Hull win. I think we'll pick up one more result in the season, and that's it.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to edge it to Hull. Sheffield United, Blackburn. I could see Blackburn here. I'm not going to lie.
I think Sheffield will get
over.
that. Sheffield United.
What about you, Steve?
It's a toss of a coin for me. I don't think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be one way or the other. But I think it'll be a tight Blackburn win.
I'm going to give it Sheffield United. I'm going to go with a nil. On that one. Okay. 2 more games, lads. I'll start with you, Steve. Birmingham, Bristol City.
1-1.
Okay. A 0. Charlton, Hull.
Hull win.
Yeah, let's go with a 2-0. Cov, Wrexham. Cov but
On
at home,
beach.
party atmosphere, Premier League football next season.
They'll lift the trophy at this game as well.
Yeah.
Look what happened to us against Blackburn under Enzo, though. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
But they had the Rick against. If we go on previous, like the last result, they'd have had the Rick against that team, and now they're playing now. So I think they'll beat Wrexham the last home game of the season. It'll be a party atmosphere, and what we need is no. I won't say it. It was
what
they were bombed in World War II, so there'd be a Ransens and Nukova.
I'm gonna give it to. I'm gonna say Cov edge it personally. Just party atmosphere. It's gonna be good. I get what you point though. Like they've already won it. They might be on the beach, but Leicester versus Millwall. Now,
Most guaranteed loss of the season, surely. Team that's going to absolutely bully us, fighting for they might even be fighting for autos at this point. Nah, this is for me. This is obvious. This is like
common sense would tell you we're gonna lose. We'll come back to it.
All right.
Everyone on the chat, give us your prediction. Leicester at home against Millwall. Steve, Middlesbrough versus Watford.
It'll be a Borough win to confirm their promotion. I think a 1-0 win.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with a 1-0 win. A nil. Norwich versus Swansea.
Norwich again. I think we've been too kind on them, but I think they're in good form. They're going to win more games than they lose for sure.
Oxford Sheffield Wednesday. Give it an Oxford win personally. Yeah, give it one, maybe 2-0 win.
That's one of the ones I could see being a draw, but go for that.
Yeah, we'll go for it. We'll go for it. QPR versus Derby 1-0.
I think Derby might edge it.
Okay. Steve, Sheffield United Preston.
1-0, and that'll be the worst game of the weekend.
Yeah, you could see it. Blackburn versus Southampton. I think it'll be Southampton win that personally.
Yeah.
Let's go for a 1-0 Southampton win. Stoke Portsmouth. Stoke will be on the beach. I mean, going back to where we were a few games ago, there. I mean, bang mid-table. I could see a draw here personally. Stoke Portsmouth.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, let's go for a 2-2. West Brom Ipswich. Ipswich preparing for life in the playoffs. West Brom just about safe, if not already safe at this point, probably. Stinks of a 0-0 to me, to be honest, lads. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, I think it'll be a draw and it'll be a boring game.
What were you thinking, Anil?
No, I think Ipswich will win, but go on.
No, we'll give it Ipswich. I think we'll give it Ipswich. Right, Steve, go on then. Give me your thoughts on this one, mate. Before we go back to the chat, obviously Anil thinks it's a guaranteed Millwall win. What about you?
We turn up against teams that are way better than us. That we have recently anyway. Ipswich, for example. Okay, we drew against Cov and we played okay in the game against Cov away from home. I think we'll get a draw and then we'll wait. I'll wait till I won't spoil the next result, but I think we'll get a draw in this one. I think it'll be a battling draw and we're all like, oh wow, look, we are going to stay up.
Yeah, I mean, we might already be safe at this. I haven't done the maths in my head. We might be safe. Obviously, we don't know, but Anil, I mean, imagine in this game, right? The story is if we win, we are safe. Mathematically, we are safe. Maybe we draw and we're safe. But are you still convinced we're going to lose against Millwall at home?
I mean, this team's been awful under pressure. So if that was true, I'd even be even more sure we wouldn't be able to do it. But I think take all that aside, I just think one of the teams that like is perfectly set up to beat this specific Leicester team is Millwall this season.
Yeah.
And they proved it in the last game. They'll just bully the shit out of us. Exactly. And they'll just do exactly the same thing. And it might be different if at home there was a bit of an atmosphere, but we don't have that. So I don't think it will. The only thing that could make me even more sure is if it was a 12:30 kickoff. If it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, then that slightly gives us a chance, in my opinion. If it's 12:30, we're even worse in those games for some reason. But like I said, I just think if you look at the style of football, I just see us getting bullied off it and not getting a win for that result, losing.
I mean, even Mr. Positive Dan says Millwall win. I'm torn. I don't think we're going to win. We're not going to win this game. No chance. I'm torn between a draw and a win. A draw and a loss. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it right. It's 1-1, 90th minute. Millwall score the winner. 2-1 Millwall at the end, and everyone is just like, oh my god. I'm going to go with that. Although I did see Will's comment. JJ will pull through as a cult legend and get us a 1-0 win over Millwall. We're definitely conceding a goal, Will, against Millwall. Okay, last game of the season. Now, what I'll do here, I'm going to hit calculate, but I'm not going to reveal the relegation battle, but I will reveal the top of the table, so we can
What?
see.
Why not the bottom?
Well, we're going to do that at the very end, like once we.
But surely we need to know coming into this game where we are.
What do
That's
you
a
reckon, Steve?
huge.
I also think you'd be like last. I think you need to calculate and show us. So we're like all going to the last game. Where are we? Yeah. Ooh.
Okay,
Like if somehow
okay.
we're safe, but for this game, who even cares, right? We'll
Yeah,
just. We'll,
yeah.
I mean,
All
I
right.
cannot see that in a month of Sundays, but if we were,
Right, well, I have calculated then, so let's have a look
Right.
what the top of the table looks like. So we have Cov on 93 points at the top.
yeah.
We
sounds
have
about right.
Millwall. What? We've
Yeah.
got Millwall in second.
No, I'll be honest with you, Locks. I don't know if they'll go up in autos, but I think they are going up this season, and I think they're either going to get second or personally, I think they'll win the playoffs. I think
We've
people
been very
underrate them.
kind, haven't we? We've been very kind.
You wait till QPR's in the playoffs.
Yeah. Let's see where
Yeah.
what third
Yeah.
looks like then. So
Yeah.
it is Ipswich 1 point behind. So we have been harsh on Middlesbrough. Very harsh.
I mean,
on
they are slipping at
Middlesbrough.
the moment. Yeah.
Oh, it's close though. Look at that. That will be
Yeah.
a tasty end to the season.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah,
that,
yeah.
lads.
Wow.
Look at that. That is going to be, if this is true, that is a tasty end to the season. Let's reveal the rest of the top six. So look, yeah, I mean, so Southampton and Hull are done. Yeah, so that's it. So Southampton, Hull, playoffs, absolutely, that's fine. Wrexham can't catch up. But Middlesbrough, Ipswich, and Millwall all fighting it for second place. Do any of them play each other? Millwall, Oxford.
Wrexham and Borough. That's although Wrexham aren't in the playoffs at that point, are they?
Yeah,
No.
and Southampton play Ipswich.
Okay, so
Oh wait, no. Yeah, no. Yes, Southampton.
That's-
Ipswich. No.
That's a few games prior that game happened.
Sorry,
Ipswich, QPR.
No, they've all got. It'll be
yeah.
one of those Sky Sport red button specials. We have to keep a track on all of the games.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look what the bottom of the table looks like then.
Yeah.
So
Du- 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 du.
in 19th, we've got West Brom on
Yeah.
49 points only.
Yeah.
20th, Portsmouth.
Wow.
21st, Leicester. And there we go. That's what we've got so far. So we have got Blackburn, Oxford, Leicester, all could go down, and Portsmouth.
The thing is, I know like the goal difference there is like 10-goal swing, but I think it'll be closer than that. I think it could possibly sort of be a couple or 3 goals swing. So
Well, but how many, Steve? Because if you look at that, the most likely thing is that we would lose. But if you look at who Oxford are playing, they might also lose. So we could stay up despite having a defeat, which would be quite a Leicester thing to do, to be honest.
You could well
So that-
see this being
Yeah.
the table. You could see this being the case. I mean, Steve, you've said for like 2 months, right? It's going to go to the last day. According to our calculations, it will. So Blackburn are, literally Blackburn, Oxford, and then it's basically.
Well,
all of
Pompey
them,
could go
right?
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would mean that we'd beat Blackburn and Oxford beat whoever they're playing, and then Portsmouth would go down with Blackburn.
And Blackburn could beat us and still go down.
Yeah.
So that is a possibility. Right. Okay. So let's predict the final games of the season with this in mind. It's gonna be a horrible day in it if this is so
Not
horrible.
sure if I want to do that watch along, to be honest. But yeah.
Imagine Imran and myself's end of like game message to the chat. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, right. Okay, we'll save this till that. Let's just fill in the others. So Bristol, I mean these don't matter, so
Yeah.
we'll just go for a 1-1 draw there. Derby, Sheffield United. I'll edge it Sheffield United's way. Hull versus Norwich.
2-2.
Probably 2-2. Let's go for that. Let's leave that one for a sec. That's going to decide the promotion. Preston North End, Southampton. I'll give that Southampton. Sheffield Wednesday. Swansea Charlton.
Draw.
Yeah.
Swansea win, maybe. whatever.
Yeah, I was going to go Swansea 2-1 win. Okay, let's do the title first. So, or not the title, the playoffs. Ipswich versus QPR. With this in mind, boys, with this table in mind, Ipswich win?
Yes.
Yeah, 3-1, I think.
Okay. Watford versus Cov. Probably just a Cov win, to be honest. Wrexham Middlesbrough.
I think Wrexham will win that, actually.
Yeah, I do as well.
Because based on that, Middlesbrough still make the playoffs as well. But I think, yeah, their last game at home in the season,
But they
Wrexham,
could
been a
still
good
get
season.
top 2.
Oh, could they? Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. They've not had I think they've bolted it a bit, Borough.
Yeah, I think Wrexham win, and then Parkinson, he gets sacked in the summer.
Okay. And the other one. All right. This is a bit of the promotion and also a bit of the relegation battle. So Millwall versus Oxford. So the stakes are basically, if Oxford lose,
Yeah,
they're down. Most likely.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they are down. Yeah. If Oxford lose, they're down. If Millwall win, then they are promoted in the top 2. If Millwall lose, they are outside the top 2. So what are we saying? Millwall versus
I think they
Oxford.
win.
Millwall.
Yeah, I think look,
At home.
exactly with that
Yeah.
atmosphere, and they need one game to get to the Premier League. I think they win all day, every day.
Yep.
Especially against that opposition. Maybe a different team, it would be a bit more challenging, but they couldn't ask for a better last game of the season. I think the difference is if they're not in that position where they can get top 2, then you might get one where because here's the issue for us, right? Is that if you know you're going to be in the playoffs, you're kind of not incentivized to really try in your last game because the last thing you want is injuries. So it really does make a big difference with them, right? If it is a case where Millwall cannot get top 2, but they are in the playoffs, not looking so good for Leicester. But in this particular example, yeah, I mean, I think they'd win, yeah, easily.
Birmingham versus Portsmouth. So again, reminding ourselves, Portsmouth are outside the bottom 3. They basically just need to draw to stay on.
I think it'll be a draw. I think they'll draw that game.
And Neil, would you agree with that?
Yeah,
Birmingham,
fair enough.
Yeah. Sheffield Wednesday, West Brom, and Neil. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday, West Brom are safe.
I still think
Yeah.
West Brom will win it. I mean, just with Wednesday, hard to get.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the last game where maybe they'll pick up something, but whatever. It's an inconsequential result ultimately.
Happy with that, Steve? 2-0 West Brom?
Yep.
All right, everybody in the chat, put your predictions in. Blackburn versus Leicester. Final game of the season. Get your score predictions in. Remember that we need to we're not going to calculate, but we need a result, probably. Anil, I'll let you go first, mate. What are you thinking? Now, what I will say is we talk about pressure. I mean, you think back to 3 years ago, we did our job against West Ham on the final day when we were relegated from the Premier League. So we did
that
our
was
job.
such a better team than the team
of
we've
course.
got now.
But,
You had Yuri Tillemans and James Maddison in that team. The thing is, though, like you said, we've looked at the table here and the pressure isn't really on for this. So based on what the table is, I think we get a draw in this game. I think if we have to win it to stay in the division, we absolutely don't win it, though.
But, Anil,
yeah,
we know the results we've put in for the other teams, but obviously in real time, you don't know what's going to happen.
No,
right?
but if you look at it, we looked at it coming into it, there's a 10 goal difference swing of 10 goals. So
I don't think it's going to be there. I don't think it'll be that 10-goal swing. That's the thing.
Well, even if it's 5, that still means if we lose 2-0, we're okay.
No, because if Oxford won, we go
Yeah,
down.
but Oxford are playing Millwall, so that's why I think.
Yeah, but they could win, is my point, right? They could.
Maybe.
Oxford. So
But
the pressure is kind of on.
Okay, but then think about if you're the Blackburn team and you're their players. It doesn't really matter what happens. I suppose if you win, you can relegate Leicester. But you might be thinking it's better for us we don't relegate Leicester, because if we go down to League One, do you want to play them in League One? I don't know. There's some weird things thinking there. So, like I say, based purely on our table, I'd go a draw. Yeah. But I think in reality, the table won't be like that. I think we will need to win to stay on the last day. And I think that Blackburn would win in that case. But based on what we've got here, I'll still say I think it'd be a 1-1 draw.
So, yeah. Steve, Anil, go on, Steve.
So, I think realistically, it depends on the previous game, and we've put it down as a Millwall-Leicester draw. I think if it's a loss at Millwall and we have to beat Blackburn, we lose. If it's a draw with Millwall, and it doesn't really matter because there's a big swing potentially goal difference-wise. I personally, if you ask me the question at the end of the season, I think we go down. I think we lose to Blackburn, and the Millwall result sort of kicks us into touch. But yeah, there's so many different variations that could happen towards the end of the season, and this is all like having a guess at things. But there's injuries, red cards. I just think personally, I'm going to be sat there at Ewood Park at 5. It's a 1:30 kickoff? No, 12:30 kickoff. So come 3:00 on the second, I'm going to be sat there with my head in my hands, pulling whatever little strands of hair I've got left out of my head.
But in a one-off game, Steve, if we were, let's just say we were to play this game tomorrow, away at
Blackburn win.
Ewood Park, do you reckon?
Yeah.
But so you think a Blackburn win on the last day?
Yeah.
And Neil says a 1-1. I'm also thinking a 1-1, but let's see what the chat's saying. There's quite a bit of positivity here. So Frankie says 5-0 to us. Will said Blackburn are basically down unless they beat us 5-0. Ray, we scrape out a hard-fought draw and goal difference saves us. Kunal says 4-2 win. Mark says 1-1. Leicester 5-0. Leicester win, says Dan. Leicester 3-1 win, says Azola. Ty says 4-0. Great escape. I personally think Portsmouth won't be that high. They've got hard... Yeah, well, we'll see. One of the wins I think we gave to Portsmouth was against Sheffield Wednesday or something like that. Luke says only just came on the stream. I'm guessing the overall observation is not necessarily. Steve, I'm going to overrule you on this one, mate. I'm not going to give it a win, though. I'm not going to give it a win. There's a lot in the chat saying a win. Obviously, me and Anil are thinking draws. You're saying a loss. I'm going to say a 1-1. That's what I'm going to go with personally. But then, yeah, I mean, I think it's a weird one, isn't it? With the situation that Blackburn will be in, that they have to win by quite a few goals. I mean, yeah, they've got to smash us, really, haven't they? They've got to, yeah, literally, as somebody said, 5-0. So they might do. What would you do in that situation, lads? Like, if you're the manager in that situation, right? Let me ask you this: if you're the Blackburn manager in that situation, do you say to the players, "We have to win 5-0 to stay up"?
Yeah,
do you say
definitely.
that, or is it just a bit of like, just go out there and do your job kind of thing?
No, you go for it because there's probably one team you could do it against. I think the problem is, what if you're us? Especially with Gary Rowett. He's the sort of person that would definitely be like low block and look, guys, we just don't need to take risks.
So, but
maybe
you would say that suits. You would say that would suit us if they have to come and beat us 5-0.
Well, the thing is, if in that game we go a goal down within the first 5 minutes, which we have done quite a lot this season, and we concede a second before 15 minutes, those players' heads are on they're in space, and I think you could quite easily lose sort of 5-0. But it all depends on where the players are at and if they do actually care. I think there is a lot of twists and turns in this relegation battle. I think we'll see a couple of players fall out of favour with the manager as well. And yeah, it's going to be a nervy one, that's for sure. And it sucks. It fucking sucks.
Can you actually imagine if, obviously, this is not going to be the league table and the points tallies at the end of the season. Of course, it's not. It's going to, we're going to be wrong. This is our joint prediction, if you like. But imagine if this was the table and, like Steve says, we were 2-0 down in the first 15. The game plan would be just don't concede 5. Just keep it to 4.
And look, so far, correct me if I'm wrong, but we haven't conceded 5 this season. We have conceded 4 a few times, but so far we haven't crossed that bridge. And even if we did concede 5, if we scored 1, we'd still be okay. So I think based on that, like I say, I think it's
I like the fact you said that we won't cross that, but we might not cross that bridge. We're going to build the bridge, walk over it, and then demolish it behind us. That's the Leicester way.
Well, you'd have to
Yeah.
lose 5-0 though, or more than that. Like I said, I think if they were, they could be a sort of game where they really go for it, but I think it would open up the other end. So, like I said, I could see them scoring 5, but we'd get 2 or something like that. So,
I imagine we get battered by Millwall, like properly battered, like 4 or 5-0, and it is like if you concede 3, you're down, and it's like we're 3-0 down with 10 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Like,
Sick.
I
I
would
was gonna
leave,
say,
man.
like,
I
we've
would
got a
not watch
loss,
that,
haven't
yeah.
we? No,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, we have got a loss for Leicester Millwall in the previous game, but yeah, obviously, if they scored more than that, I mean, even if we said like they scored 3,
Yeah.
Millwall, then you can obviously just see the goal difference is slightly more. Yeah. Anyway, I've just revealed it, but yeah, 2-2. So we went. I put in a 2-2. I think it'll be.
Yeah.
What
Well, you know,
was
just
going
for
on
the
there?
sake of it, but put it that they win 3-2. What difference does it make?
It will be head loss if Jakob scores the goal to keep us up. Lux will never speak to Graham again because Graham will be like the most hard he's ever been in his life.
There
So
you
this
go.
is pretty negative because this says we lose both those last 2 games of the season. But based on that, we still, you know, go back to the Millwall game, make it a 5-1 loss. We're still somehow we survive.
Yeah. Like if I said
Yeah,
if I
give
said
him a 4. Give him 4. Yeah,
I'll just say like a 4-0 loss. If I just put
You're right.
Why does it keep doing that?
-27. Oh shit!
Yeah.
now we're in trouble. Yeah,
4-0 4-0 loss, it would have us there just, still 5-goal deficit. So yeah, but no, we if I go with what we went for, which was like a 2-1 loss there.
and so
then-
based on all these games, I think we've only predicted 2 wins. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's what I've said a couple of weeks ago. I think we'll win 2 games. We'll
2
get 8. I
games,
think we pick up 8 points.
Yeah, drawing against Sheffield Wednesday, and I think we picked up a draw against someone else. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yep.
so we've got 2 wins and a draw.
Wow,
what
that's it. We've only
predicted.
given ourselves 7 points. I mean, that's
Well, what we can do, right? So if we just
Yeah.
look at this situation, so this is our predicted table, just a joint effort, kind of reasoning with each other. This is what we've predicted for the end of the season. Just quickly to visit the top of the league, we do have Millwall going up by 1 point in the automatics, and then a playoffs of Ipswich, Middlesbrough, Southampton, and Hull. So that's what we've got. But if we just go and revisit some of our earlier predictions here, I mean, look, let's just play a what if quickly. A what if. I mean, Preston versus Leicester. I think
draw.
realistically you could see that as a draw this weekend, next weekend. Then Leicester versus Sheffield Wednesday. Let's leave it as a draw. I'm not going to do it all worst case. I'm going to leave Swansea because I do genuinely think we will beat Swansea. I do think.
but not Sheffield Wednesday. That's the thing then, right?
Yeah, it's just that
But
banana
we're
skin,
Leicester.
right?
Yeah, well, I know, but I don't know. It's all right.
Leicester,
Yeah.
Portsmouth. I mean, who do you? I don't see us losing away at Fratton Park personally.
We've done it
Well, I
before.
hope not.
We did it with Enzo, right? No, that was Plymouth.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was Plymouth, not Portsmouth. That's true.
And we've obviously got we've got us our last win being against Swansea.
Yeah.
And then we draw.
Nothing.
We draw.
We
Yeah.
got one
we
draw. One
draw
draw
to
against Portsmouth.
Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Lose to Hull.
Yeah.
Lose to Millwall and draw to Blackburn on the final day.
Yeah. And then what would the table look like? Then we would be down,
it's
right?
just- no, we wouldn't because.
Wow, really?
Yeah, we wouldn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's what we've got. But again, like let's just say that the worst case scenario happened and Sheffield Wednesday did beat us 2-1, then we would be down by 1 point. And Sheffield Wednesday have got 0.
Yeah!
they clawed it back. They
Fuck
clawed
the
it back.
EFL.
But just quickly
Ooh.
before we finish, I mean,
Don't
we've
forget,
done-
Locke, sorry, really quickly.
Yeah.
If the appeal comes in and we get given an extra point or 2,
Oh,
or get
that's-
taken off, we could
that-
get points back.
I forgot about that. That's huge,
Or we could
isn't
lose
it?
a point. Yeah.
We could
Yeah.
lose a point.
Yeah.
Then that goal difference wouldn't save us, would it? Oh no.
But let's think best case scenario, like realistic best case. We could
Well,
beat
give us the win
Preston.
against Sheffield Wednesday. We haven't done that at all yet,
Well,
right?
I'm going to give us the win against Preston and Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what I'll do. Swansea, I've given us the win.
Yeah.
So that would be winning 3 in a row, which would be
Yeah.
extremely unlikely. But still, let's just do it. I would still say let's just keep it as a draw against Portsmouth. We'll leave it as a loss.
Losses. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave it as a loss against Hull and Millwall.
Millwall and Blackburn.
And then
No, draw.
Yeah, so let's just leave it as a draw. I mean, there we are, right? We're 4 points clear. So this is how important. I mean, this is how important these games are. Like one, worst case scenario, we've got going down by 1 point. A kind of fairly realistic shout, we've got us staying up on goal difference, and a best case scenario, we're staying up by 4 points. So there's a 5-point swing basically. But yeah, one thing is for sure, we're not going to win every game. Would you say it's more likely we lost every game? Or sorry, would you say it was more likely we don't pick up another win than
well, Sheffield Wednesday. So I think the chances are we'll pick up 1 win, realistically, and then a few draws. I love the fact Dan's saying we're being very harsh on Leicester. I don't think we are. This is Leicester of this season, right?
Dan,
what have you seen, Dan? What have you seen?
No, genuinely, Dan, I don't get it right. So we lost to Preston first half of the season. We're worse than we were then. Obviously, we beat Sheffield Wednesday back then. Obviously, we beat Swansea as well. I don't think we're being harsh at all, mate. I mean, especially those last 2 games. Game week 44 and 45.
You have to say we were pretty comprehensively defeated by Hull, Mill, and Blackburn at our own ground. Even it wasn't even that close. So that's something you got to be aware of. But looking at that, I still is that a point per game or slightly above a point per game?
I think we've got them probably slightly above.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think initially we had. So yeah, I'm just going to put it back to what it was. So we had drawing there. We had drawing against Wednesday. We had the win against Swansea. I think we said the draw against Portsmouth. The loss against Hull, and the draw against Blackburn. So this is what we had it as in the first prediction. So this is our prediction. This is what we have predicted, basically. Leicester to stay up on goal difference by 9 goals. I don't think it's that. I don't think we've been harsh, and I don't think we've been generous. I think we've. You could see West Brom out of all of us at the bottom. I think West Brom. It wouldn't surprise any of us if West Brom did win the most points out of all of us. And yeah, you had Preston win, not a draw. Did I have a Preston win? No, I had a draw, no?
Draw, draw for that one, yeah.
Yeah, I did have a draw. Yeah, initially, like in the first prediction, Will. And then EFL relegated to They can't. I mean, they can't give us a minus 1 point after the final day. They can't.
No,
it might be before that.
Yeah, I think it will, but I think you'll probably hear about it in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I think my guess would be it's just no change. Both appeals rejected. That is my prediction. But Steve, what do you reckon?
The Premier League have it out for us. I know it's an independent, company that are doing it effectively, but they have grounds for appeal. I don't think we do, and the chances are they've probably been a bit lenient on us with our -6. So it could happen. I'm leaning on closer to be actually happening to be an extra -1 point. But then, in life, I'm an optimist, but when it comes to Leicester, I'm very much a pessimist. So I'm always thinking, oh shit, worst case scenario.
But am I right in saying one of the point that the Premier League want to add was for failing to cooperate?
Yeah.
But then Chelsea failed to cooperate.
No, they did
and they
cooperate.
got a fine.
No, they self-reported. That's the difference there.
Yes.
But I do think that Chelsea thing is why I agree with Steve that I'm not sure. Also, I agree with you that I think it will balance itself out. Because if they gave an extra point there, and again, you look at what Chelsea have done, I think it just opens a can of worms. I think it's in their best interest to try and settle as much of this stuff as possible and move on with it. But
also, I don't think the EFL want Leicester to get relegated, because it could be one of the if we did get relegated, there is a chance that we could go out of business at some point. I'm not saying we will, but they're worried that we'll go bankrupt because we can't afford it. Imagine a Premier League side there's a team that's won the Premier League goes bankrupt within 10 years. That'll be crazy.
Well, this is the problem, though, Steve. It's not down to the EFL anymore, is it? Because it's not the EFL judging; it's this independent commission. But Nick DeMarco will be at his best. I'm sure he'll be pulling out all the fucking what's the word? The previous cases and stuff. The Chelsea case, arguing it. It wouldn't surprise me if just both are just null and it's just balance itself out. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it. That's our final prediction. We have Oxford, Blackburn, and Sheffield Wednesday. By the way, Dan, I don't know what you're fucking moaning for. We've got Leicester to stay up. Relax, man. Relax. We've got Oxford, Blackburn, and Wednesday to go down, and we have Coventry and Millwall to go up in the autos, Ipswich, Borough, Southampton, and Hull. Just final question for you both. Who's going to win the playoffs, if that's it? I'm going to say Middlesbrough.
I'll say Southampton.
I'm going to say Hull.
There we go. All three different answers. Let us know in the chat who you think. But yeah. Okay, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, everybody. Very much appreciated. We will obviously we've got a video coming out tomorrow with Rob Tanner. That's going to be out at 12 o'clock. Just a little chat, and then no football on the weekend. But we'll do a little we'll do a loan watch, looking back at all the players. Not a loan watch, sorry, an international break watch. All the players that have played over the international break. We'll see what's what. So cheers all. See you all very soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. Bye bye.